shit. It's 1,000. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Spin that shit. Shit, you coming? Spin the check and get it right back.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Eazyy TV bringing you guys another division video. Today I'm just doing a revisit. I at least have like 30 or 40 messages in my inbox about 9K STAM pred. This is the most requested build that I get from subs in my inbox. I guess you guys are just pred users. This is really a cheese build, but as a build maker and a content creator, I cover all aspects of the game from PvE builds to PvP. So yeah, I'm gonna just get straight into the video. All right, so like I was saying, I have my 9K STAM pred. I already did a build like this, giving a good explanation on how pred works. A lot of you new people that just subscribed probably have not seen that video. Some of you guys are just too lazy to go look through the videos to go find the video, so I'm just doing a revisit. We do have a lot of new Game Pass people and people just now getting the game, that's hearing about pred or hearing about Nomad or whatever the case may be with different gear sets. Right now I'm just going to cover this one as requested. So I'm going to show you guys how I run my 9K STAM pred build. All right, I have one of the craziest hitting 9K STAM builds that you guys will ever see or feel if you ever ran into me if I used it on division. All right, it's godly. Okay, all right, so what people need to understand first about this build is is crit chance. Before we even get into crit chance and all the explanation, let me just show you guys the build. This is a fully optimized. All right, so I have a vicious deadly card counter house. There's all my mods for that. And then my other one is Unforgiving deadly card counter. Now I just stripped all the mods for that, but they're like this roughly around the same mods though that I have on the other one. And then I have a Predator's Mark chest piece, roll for STAM, exotic damage, resilience, and health. And it has 2 STAM mods with crit chance on it. STAM Predator's Mark mask, roll for crit chance, and it has a STAM mod with crit chance on it as well. The knee pads roll for STAM, it has critical hit damage on it. And then it has a STAM mod with crit chance and a post critical hit damage mod. Also, I have a backpack roll for STAM, has 9% critical hit damage on it. And then it has a critical hit STAM critical hit chance mod on it with 2 post critical hit damage mods. The gloves, 1401 firearms, SMG damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. And then all 3 on the holster has crit chance on it and also a post critical hit damage mod. Now I'm gonna show you guys why I run damage. All right, so like I said, with a vicious deadly and card counter gun, you're sitting roughly around 58% crit chance. 60 is the max, so you're 2% off. So that's why I invest critical hit damage mods into crit chance mods, because I don't want to overdo it with the crit chance if I'm already just 2 points away. You feel what I'm saying? So it wouldn't even make sense. So 58% on the crit chance and 135 on the crit damage. All right. Then the abilities that I'm using is booster, and that gives you the 15% damage boost. And then I'm using conceal. Now the reason why you can use a damage, but the reason why I use conceal, because conceal wipes out all other pulses. So let's say if you had a concealed on and I had on the concealed and you had on the damage, if you post me with the damage and I post my conceal, it wipes me clean. So you don't have that pulse no more and you're stuck with the pulse on you. Now if it's 2 damage, I have a damage and you have a damage, we're both post. They don't wash each other, they don't cancel each other. But concealed actually conceals you. It really does what it says. So you can use a recon, the base one, a damage one. If you hit me with one of those pulses between those 3, then if I hit you with a concealed, I'm going to wash yours and keep mine, if you get what I'm saying. The only thing that cancels out a conceal is another conceal. So for you to be able to cancel out my pulse, you need to pulse me with the conceal. If you pulse me with anything else other than the conceal, it's not going to work, and I'm going to keep you pulsed with that damage. All right, just a reminder, all right, for the new people. The talents that I'm running is adrenaline. That is good for any type of status effect, fire, gas, smoke, pred, bleed, anything. All right, fucking electricity, being shocked, everything. All right, I'm running shrapnel because shrapnel, you need to run shrapnel on pred. When you put somebody on bleed, you have a chance to put the whole people that's surrounding that certain vicinity. It says 10 meter radius. So if you're in that radius of me hitting somebody with bleed, it can eventually, you have a 30% chance it can eventually attach onto the other person and attach onto the other person and make everybody bleed at once. All right. And I have combat medic and I have on the move. You don't have to run on the move. I got it because I want a little bit more takiness with it, even though I'm already at like 600k toughness, but I run on the move. All right. So more of an explanation. Having max crit chance, which is 60%, gives you a chance to consistently crit on a bleed. All right. No matter if it's an NPC, no matter if it's a player. All right. If you was at 30% crit chance, when you put somebody on bleed, you have a 30% chance of bleeding them with a crit bleed. If you guys understand what I'm saying. For the guys that don't, I'm going to get into the 6-piece bonus so you guys can get a little bit more of an understanding. All right. Hitting 10 shots without switching target now applies the Predator's mark, which makes the target bleed for 50% of the damage already done by those bullets. The damage over time to the target is increased by 15% for every 3,000 stamina and can critically hit. When at 9,000 stamina, the damage over time bonus is increased by 20%. The Predator's mark ignores the status effect immunity of NPCs. Now, with this being said, I want you guys to understand this. It's 120% crit damage when you're at 9k stam. That 120% crit damage is not added on to the crit damage that I have on my character, which we were at 135 base critical hit damage. Okay, that 135 is not stacked on to 120, so you're not running around with 255 crit damage. That's not happening. All right, so I want you guys to understand that you're actually running 15% more crit damage. All right, so you know the 120 plus the 15 is 135. The 135 is my base. You're only actually running an extra 15% crit damage from what the 6-piece gives you. Now with the pulse and everything included, it'll go up to like the 150-ish. Depends on what your pulse look like, how strong your pulse is, or whatever the case may be. Now this is a DPS pulse. A DPS pulse, keep that in mind. With a tac pulse or any type of final measure pulse or whatever the case may be, some type of healer, this will, that damage that they push out with that pulse, let's say they at 80% crit damage, right? When they pulse somebody, you're going to have a 80% damage boost, crit damage on top of the 135 that you have on base, which is going to push you over 200 and something percent for crit damage. All right. I do have a video also for that I will put in the description so you guys can see the difference between running a pulse healer and running 9k stam pred and running a DPS one. The DPS it's fine. It does just as good, but it does fine. It gets the job done. But with the pulse, it's a different ball game. It's like you can't even react. You die so fast. It's so cheesy. All right. So like I was saying, the more crit chance you have, the more you have a time to hit a critical hit damage. All right. The less crit chance you have, the less you have to crit bleed a NPC or someone. So that's why you see my gun has no mod on it, because it's around 56% it's around 56% without vicious. All right. My vicious one is 58%. So I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. All right. So with my vicious, no card counter is active right now. I want to show you guys all this stuff with no card counter, and then we'll get into the card counter and booster and stuff like that. So with card counter, no card counter. All right, I'm gonna just put let's see. No, that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a with card counter, because it's always gonna be with card counter or without card counter. All right, so we're gonna do it without card counter first. We're just gonna do a base bleed, no booster, no post, no anything, just no card counter with the house. All right, so we're on the black side. There we go. 1, 2. All right, that was only 2. All right, that was only 2. Now we're gonna do the card counter side. So it should hit a little bit harder, but we might get more crits as well from the crit chance. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4 bleeds on that one. That's with no post, no nothing. This is just vicious. The 58% chance. Now, what people need to understand is, do not expect to get all yellow numbers every time you hit somebody with 9 shots, with 10 shots. It is not 100% critical hit damage. It is 60% critical hit damage. If it was 100%, this will be the most OPest gear set on the game. That means every single crit, I'm sorry about that. Every single bleed will be a crit if it was at 100%, and that will be extra broken, okay? Extra broken. So let's try it again.
Warning.
So card counter,
safe area.
no booster, no pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was 8 crits. You saw that? That was 8 crits, 58%, no pulse, no nothing. So now we're going to post to get us the extra 2%, but we're going to see how much more it hits, all right? So we're going to put the 8 on him. We're going to do pulse. So he's post, got the concealed, card counter, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I always say, it's different. It's weird how they got it set up, but it's different. You're not guaranteed to get a whole bunch of crits like the 8 that I got. But what I do know is the lower that you have, the less chance that you have the crit. And you want to have your max potential of critting. That's the whole point of the 9K STAM build, all right? So we're going to put the bullets back on him again. The 9, we're going to make sure we're going to go through one cycle of black card. We're going to go to white card, and then we're going to add the post to it as well. All right, we almost there. So I'm going to get that post. That concealed is up. And then 10th bullet. 1, 2, 3. And it did it 3 times, but you see the damage is higher. So it's not a guarantee that you're going to get this all the time. But what I will tell you is, with a post build, it's almost guaranteed you're going to like 2-tick somebody when you run it with like a tactician post build, all right? So now let's get into the other gun. This is the gun that's stripped naked. It has lower crit damage and crit chance. I think it's at 40% crit chance, 75% crit damage. And now we're going to see what card counter and no post, what that actually gives us. Now we might get the same amount of crits, we might not, but I know for sure, even in my other video, which I will have that posted in the description too, your crit damage, your crit chance does matter on how many times you get a crit from someone, on someone. All right, so we on the white side, and 10. 1. See what I mean? 2. We got 2 crits. So out of all those numbers at 40% crit chance, we only got 2 crits. Versus the almost 60% crit chance, we had a max of what, 8 crit bites or whatever you want to call them. Now these numbers that you see are for NPCs. Players, I have hit players for higher numbers than this. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. I have hit players for higher numbers, all right? So let's go ahead with the less crit damage and crit chance. As you guys can tell too, the crit damage is very low. It's not as high as the one with vicious on it, because the one with vicious on it has the gun mods on it as well. So I just want to give you guys a good feel for it. All right, so we there. We're gonna pulse out. We on the white card. We at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 off of that one. See, the 40% chance we got 7, but you see, it's only a chance. It's only a 40% chance that you might get those crits back to back to back to back versus a 60% chance, which is basically 20% higher. You have a 20% higher chance to getting those crits. And I would take those numbers over the 40 because we saw what the 40 gave us the first time. We only critted twice. And most likely you're going to only probably crit 2 or 3 times with that. But don't forget too, that was also with the pulse. So the pulse actually up the crit chance. All right, the pulse actually put more crit chance on that. Without a pulse, we probably wouldn't get 7 again. So we're gonna do it without a pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 max without no pulse. If out of pulse, we probably got 6 or 7. All right, but that's the explanation with Pred. Now, the way that I have these guns set up, and I'm gonna show you guys. All right, the way that I have these guns set up. Let me put the mods back on here. One thing y'all will know about me, I don't do any cuts or edits, so we go through straight through how we go through. That's just what it is. All right, what other house do I have this on? All right, let's go here. Let's put on that. Let's put on that. And let's put on our suppressor. All right. Okay, now, the reason why you guys see an Unforgiving gun, this is what I want you guys to, before we even get into that, let me just show you the crit chance with Vicious and Deadly with card counter, pulse, and booster active. So it might not be too much of a difference, but it should be a difference. Like I said, it's always weird. Pulse, booster, card counter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 with that. The damage should be a little bit more higher, but like I said, you see we was at almost 500k firearms. That booster actually helps out with your the damage of the gun. So real people who know how to use Pred don't just put 10 bullets on a person and run. They actually keep shooting. So you got the 15% gun damage and everything from booster on top of the bleed, and you want to kill that person as fast as possible. You don't want to just put 10 shots on them and keep running around. That's not how that works. All right, that's not going to be good. All right, now with the Unforgiving, we know it has less has a tad bit less crit chance, a lot like 15%, no, 20% less crit damage because of the mods that I have on the gun. Yours might be a little bit more different. Hopefully it is not. All right, so the reason why I run this gun, sometimes I run this one first, depends on if I'm playing in a group or not. If I am playing in a group with the pulse, I am running my Unforgiving Deadly first, hands down, because I don't need Vicious because of the crit chance that the Tactician pulse will put out already. So it's kind of pointless to run Vicious Deadly. The reason why you want to run Vicious Deadly is if you're not running with somebody with some type of post build, or if you're running solo, or y'all just got all DPS builds and there's no post build, you want to run Vicious Deadly to get the jump on somebody with the crit damage. All right, so with the Unforgiving works best when you're hit. All right, like when you're about to be damn near dead. All right, so for the ones that don't know what Unforgiving do, it says missing health segments increase your damage. 1 missing percent gives it 10%, 2 missing gives you 25%. So being almost dead gives you 25%. So what we could do, and I'm gonna show you guys how I would utilize this, all right, especially if I'm in a gunfight and I'm running around and I'm about to die, I would switch immediately over to Unforgiving because of the damage boost that it give you. All right, so I'm gonna show y'all the damage that it push out with the Unforgiving procs. Okay, so we ain't gonna do no booster, no nothing like that right now. We're just gonna do Unforgiving right now. All right, so hold on, let's get in there.
Now entering a safe area.
Let's get out. We're gonna do card counter though, for sure.
Warning. You are exiting the safe area.
All right, so we got 1 grenade. I might not even get down that low because I am tanky. We got 2 grenades. See, it's going back up fast. We got 3 grenades. And we have 4 grenades. All right, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's only 4 at 187, and that was with card counter. And we didn't get that that second proc of Unforgiving because I'm so tanky. It's like it started loading, it started healing myself up before I actually can get into my last segment. So we're gonna try that again as well. All right, 1, 2. See how it's going back up. 3. I'm not going to be able to get myself down. And 4. So that'll be just that 1 prop and put the 10 shots. See, now it kicked in. 235. That's 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 bleeds at 235 with Unforgiving proc. Now, if I lost 2 of those, it'd be extra damage on top of that pred bleed with card counter. So now we're just gonna go ahead and do the 1 segment Unforgiving proc with post and booster. All right.
You are now entering a safe
So you
area.
guys can get an understanding. If you guys have any questions about, feel free. If you're on Xbox, send me a message on Xbox. Gamer tag is Eazyy TV, EAZYY space TV, or you can leave a comment below. I just want you guys to have a full understanding on how prayer works, the reason why you're not actually hitting the way you think you're supposed to be hitting. It's a lot of factors that really comes into a godly prayer build. Like, you can put on prayer 9K STAM and shoot some motherfucker and do damage. But if you want to do that extreme damage, you need to just listen to what I have to say and run it the way that I run. All right, that's 1. Just gonna put ourselves. 2. Gonna hit ourselves for 1 more. That's 3. So that's that 1 with booster and 10 shots. See, 292. So almost 300k bleed. That's about 3. That was 3 bleeds or almost 300k, and that's only 1 segment of Unforgiving gone. That's not the 2 segments. So just think about it. The damage, the extra 15% damage on top of that almost 300k bleed with Unforgiving, the post and booster. All right. If you guys have any questions, I know a lot of people gonna be like, oh, Pred is cheesy, you cheesy for using this. First off, I am a build maker. I'm not going to deprive myself or my community of certain builds because you don't like it. I'm going to cover as many builds as I can, but don't forget, I also have counter builds against Pred that will shut Pred down in a fucking heartbeat. So I don't just bring you guys the cheese, I bring you stuff to help fight the cheese as well. But the link will be down in the description of the other explanation that I had. I also will put the link in the description between the gameplay that I had with a 2 9K STAM Preds and a post build. It's ridiculous. I also will put in the description the DPS version of the Pred counter, which is phenomenal. And then I will put the healer build that's against Pred as well in the description. So there will be 4 links in the description. I know this video is a little lengthy. I needed it to be because I need people to understand the way that Pred is being done. You guys can skip through this video from parts to parts to parts. You guys do not have to watch this fully. I hope you guys are having a good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down in the description, and I'm out.